Hey, hello there. Today I gotta explain something called enhanced switches in Java. In Java, there's switches, and then there's enhanced switches. Enhanced switches are a Java 14 feature. I would recommend using enhanced switches over standard switches. So, what is a switch exactly? A switch is a replacement to using many else-if statements. Here's an example of us using a lot of else-if statements. In this sample program, we have a day of the week. I set mine to be Friday. With each of these if statements, I am checking to see if the day equals Monday, Tuesday, so on and so forth. Currently, my day is set to Friday. This would give me, it is a weekday. If I set the day to be Saturday, well then, it is the weekend. Or Sunday, let me show you the code. It is the weekend. Then I have an else statement, if none of the above conditions are true. For example, let's say day is pizza day, which doesn't exist, but it really should. Pizza day is not a day. This code does work, but it could be more efficient. We have a lot of redundancies. We're using a lot of else-if statements that all basically do the same thing. An improvement would be to use an enhanced switch. Let me demonstrate how to make that. So let's set our day to be Monday, for example. To create a switch, we will type switch, add a set of parentheses, then a set of curly braces. It's similar to an if statement already. Within the set of parentheses for the switch, we're going to examine a value or variable. We're going to examine our string of day. We will examine this value against any matching cases. The first case will be a string of Monday. If day is equal to this value, a string of Monday, we'll do something. We'll use an arrow. An arrow is the arrow operator. In Java, think of it as meaning, do something, do this. If day equals Monday, do this code. So let's print something. Let's print it is a weekday. And then for fun, you don't have to, but I'm going to add an emoji. Nobody likes Mondays. Let's be honest. If day is Monday, do this code. Let's add another case. Let me zoom in a little. If case is Tuesday, arrow operator, meaning do this code, we'll print the same thing. It is a weekday. We'll do this with the other days too. I'll just copy this code, then repurpose it to save some time. Case Wednesday, it is a weekday. Case Thursday, it is a weekday. Case Friday, it is a weekday. Now, if it's Saturday, that means it's the weekend. Case Saturday, it is the weekend. Let's change the emoji. Case Sunday, it is the weekend. Let's perform a test run. If you're using IntelliJ, you may have these warnings. It's basically saying that these sections of code are unreachable. We're manually setting a variable. These sections of code are not going to execute. So I would just ignore that for now. So let's perform a test run. My day is Monday. Day is equal to the case of Monday, so we do this code. If it were Friday, case Friday, we do this code. If case were Saturday, well, we do this code. And Sunday. Case Sunday, so we do this code. It is the weekend. What if we have a day that doesn't exist, like pizza day? Well, we can add a default case. Here's how. We'll type the keyword default arrow, meaning do this. We'll print our variable day plus a string of is not a day. Pizza day is not a day. The default case, it behaves similarly to your else statement. If no above conditions are true, then we will do this. So what we'll do now is accept some user input using a scanner. We'll need to create a scanner object. Scanner equals new scanner. Within the set of parentheses, type system.in. And then I'm just going to automatically import this class at the top of my Java file. Import java.util.scanner. We'll create a prompt for a user to type in the day. Enter the day of the week. And I will use print instead of print line. Instead of manually assigning a variable, we'll use our scanner. Scanner.nextLine to accept a string. Okay, let's try this again. Enter the day of the week. It is Tuesday. It is a weekday. Let's try that again. Enter the day of the week. It is Saturday. It is the weekend. And let's make up a day. Let's go with Taco Day. Taco Day is not a day. We could actually improve the switch even further. IntelliJ is saying we have a duplicate branch in our switch. We have 2 or more cases that are doing the same thing. We are outputting, it is a weekday. We could consolidate some of these cases. Here's how. The cases of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, they all output the same thing. So we're going to consolidate them. I'll copy one of these print statements and delete all of them. We can comma separate these cases. So case Monday, comma, Tuesday, comma, Wednesday, comma, Thursday, comma, Friday, then arrow. If our case is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, then do the following. We'll print, it is a weekday. Now, Saturday and Sunday do the same thing too. Let's cut one of these lines and delete them. Case Saturday, comma, Sunday, arrow, meaning do this. It is the weekend. Then we'll keep our default case, in case there are no matches. Let's try this again. Enter the day of the week. It is Wednesday. It is a weekday. It is Saturday. It is the weekend. It is Sunday. It is the weekend. Then let's go with Hamburger Day. Hamburger Day is not a day. So those are enhanced switches. They're a replacement to using many else-if statements. If you find yourself using a lot of else-if statements, I would recommend using a switch instead. But not just any switch, an enhanced switch, which is a Java 14 feature that you should know about. And well, everybody, those are enhanced switches in Java.